I'd like to thank you for calling, and you're on the air.
Man, with that brother, I have a small business, dry cleaning. Got a lot of those brothers that are trying to get a business started, but they're afraid of what? So they're afraid that they're not going to get no black support, which I see as the problem now, because I go out and try to get the black business. Everybody tell me, no, this Chinaman around the corner got this deal, and I tell them I matched the deal, but they still say, well, I've been doing business with him for a while. And I say, why's that? I'm going to pick it up and deliver it to you with no extra cost. And this guy's charging them, to pick it up and deliver it and giving them poor quality. And when they see my quality is one of the better quality, but they still go out and give it to the white or the other communities, which is, I think, is totally ridiculous. We're not going to make it as a whole, never, if we keep continue doing this.
Well, you definitely have valid points, and this is one of the concerns that we're trying to bring up now, so that we can begin to educate our people into understanding what is happening to us, as our guest put it, that we'll keep paying for our own oppression by letting the money go out of our community. Would you like to respond to the call?
Right. Well, that's his thoughts are the similar thoughts I've been running across with other African American business people, and that's why that we feel that it must be concerned that we go on a mass education, and Atlanta is the right place to start a mass education for making the community aware of the importance of shopping with African American people. We must understand that we have an alarming rate of dropouts. And this can be a direct result of that. Because if, you children, you go to school and you find out this man, that he have a cleaners. And it may be a child right at home looking at the cleaners and say, I want to go in the cleaners. And they find out now, they say, well, they're not even supporting him. So why would his aspirations still send him that way? Yeah. And then the dope man is calling him over here and saying, here's the money, here's the cars, here's the home, here's what you want. The dope man hollering over here, the businessman crying over here, the dope man hollering over here. Which way is our youth is going to go? We got to understand that that our suicidal thoughts is causing us to lose. And we have to stop practicing those suicidal ideas. And we have to stop. I think the African-American business people, just like he said, he was willing to match. He was willing to match and go and pick up the goods. And deliver the goods. And they're still saying they was doing that, but they were doing that a long time. We just have to wake up. We're going to have to wake up.
What I'd like to do, just because of these concerns, especially for our viewers, at the end of the program, we have credits that will tell you how we can get in touch with each other, and I think that's what we should do. We should try to formulate some kind of method for those that are concerned, for us to come together, and then try to see if we can address these issues on a massive basis together. Let's go back to our phones. We have a caller. We'd like to thank you for calling.
Yes, I'd like to just make a comment.
Please.
One of the main reasons that black people have so many problems in dealing with black businesses is that they run into a lot of people that are not legit. So I think that somebody should come up with an idea that lets you find out where you can go and find legit businesses, and that'll bring a lot of black people back to the black businesses. So if we can avoid all the crooks and get with the people that are legit, I think it'll help us out a whole lot more.
Okay, let's see if we can have our guests address that issue.
That thought came way back from 400 years. Now, where in the world would you come up with an idea with that kind of concept? I don't even understand where that comes from. I don't even know if I should respond to that. African-American business people, there's too many African-American business people right here in Atlanta for you to go in there. What made the qualification for them to be legit? When you go into Caucasian business, what makes him legit? When you go into Jewish business, what makes him legit? What makes when you go into African-American business, you said they're not legit? I don't understand that kind of thought, but I'm saying those are the type of thoughts that I'm talking about that just came right back from 400 years ago of slavery, that is just studied. That kind of thought there is nothing going to be but more financial oppression going on as long as we think like that. I mean, the very thought. I mean, I'm not saying anything about the caller.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about the thought itself. It's insanity.
Yeah.
The thought for anybody to come and just blanket all African American business. Most of them are illegitimate. I mean, this first time I heard that thought there, I don't know.
Well, we'll go to another call. And
okay.
We'd like to thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Yes. I run a youth organization from the ages of, starting at the age of 12. And we had a little problem because I know for a fact it's not all about the dollars because we sell our product cheaper. And we had one customer, African American, who came up and she asked, was the organization owned by African Americans? And when the young man told her yes, she said, well, then give me back my money. And I wanted to say that makes them wonder about what type of future they have. And as long as they're on the street selling drugs and stuff, that people say, yeah, that's the type of future that they be looking up to because they see the cars and the money and stuff. And when the adults come up to them and give them negative talks and stuff, then that makes them wonder what type of future they do have.
We'd like to thank you for your comments. We hope you continue to watch. Maybe you would like to kind of address that because it is a problem with us as a people, you know.
Well, that's just bearing witness what probably me and you both have talked about, and that is that the effects of slavery are going to have to be dealt with. And you know, just for the call right then, all you have to do just listen. All you have to do is go look at the news, find out how many businesses you'll see that other nationalities have way more illegitimate business. Just messed up. They be on the news every day. I don't know how he bypassed all of that. I don't know how.
And just come and say our African American businesses are.
I just don't find that. Yeah. I go and see now. You probably do have some African American business that's operating that are wrong. But you also have a lot of other ethnic groups that wrong. But when you come in and blanket said most of them, I don't know how he determined that. I don't know, did he ask them for their license or how did he come across that
they were illegal.
Yeah,
and do we ask the same questions to the other businesses?
But I have found out is that our instinct, if African Americans are selling on the street and if they have guns on the street, our people just normally take for granted that the goods are hot.
Yes,
the goods are stolen.
Right.
That's the kind of conscience that they got. Oh yeah, we got those goods, and some of them buy because they think it's hot.
Yeah.
You know, well this is cheap. I know this is hot. This is off the street. And but I'm saying that's our conscience, and African Americans, we need to move away from that. We need to
upgrade our thinking. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I'm telling you. I'd like to go back to our phones, if I might. And thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Yes, sir.
Fine. How are you?
Yes, sir. I just would like to say that I think that we should get off with that 40 years of slavery. So first of all, none of us are 40 years old, and we are Americans. And once you start thinking that way, and hell with and stop, get away from that nationality. Stop and get on out there and do what you're supposed to do, and stop, and you can make money. It's all about money. And I tell you something, the black businessman, entrepreneur must change his attitude because most of them are so nasty. They say, oh, if you don't like it, go someplace else. I mean, this is their attitude, man.
Well, okay, we'd like to thank you for calling. I can see he has a blanket view as well as of all African American.
But we have to realize that he reflects some of the opinions
of the general
consensus, and this is what African American people must deal with. You know, it reminds me of the person that was in a car wreck, and then you ask him why is he crippled? Then he said, well, I was in a car wreck. He said, stop bringing up the car wreck, just why are you crippled? Won't you stop asking me why am I crippled if you don't want me to tell you that I was in a car wreck? I'll just leave the whole question alone.
Yes,
now, if you ask then why we're affected, it's because of the 400 years of slavery. Now, I don't know where he's from. You know, I don't know what planet he's off of. But either way, that we really do need to come to some kind of grip or some kind of country.
And it's a sad thing to me that now our people don't even want to identify with the fact that we was even in slavery. We want to say that there's no effect on us.
Right.
And we are definitely affected by that. And it's obvious the way we let our money go out of our community. We got another caller. Let's go back to the phone, please. Thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Yes, what I was going to say was that I have a question and a comment here.
Go ahead.
My comment is that I'm very happy to see two brothers like yourself discussing issues like this, and we need more brothers in this city like you two to address these situations, and I hope that I can rap with the brother there, Muhammad, one of these days. Also, my question is, realistically, Muhammad, I've talked with a lot of brothers around the city, and like you said, we have a lot of problems. And I wanted to know from you, do you see an end? Realistically, I would like for you to address that. Do you realistically see a way that we can break through and wake up our people? Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, please.
I realistically see it. I don't realistically see whether we 30 million or 40 million, but I realistically see 10%. But if we have 10% or 20%, they really can save the rest. If just 10 or 20% of us start practicing this, the others will benefit by it. We know that everybody's not going to do it, but if just a few people call in, if we start practicing it, it's better. If we can win one each day, it's better.
Right.
And we got to realize, like I was saying, that we only 100 years up. We just got to start practicing it and start teaching and educating the broader community, because I don't really think that as a whole that we want to commit suicide. I don't think as a whole we want to commit economic suicide. I don't think as a whole we want other people to do our responsibility. As the guy said, and that's what I agree with the other caller said, he said we are Americans. So my question to him, if we are Americans, why don't we shoulder our responsibility as Americans? If the Jews can produce jobs, if the Koreans can produce jobs, why can't we produce jobs? So, and if the Jewish community support jobs for everybody, Korean community support the Korean community to support jobs for everybody, why can't African Americans support African Americans so that they can create jobs for everybody? That's all that I'm saying.
A very good point, very good point. And any of our callers that would like to contact us, we have at the end of our program, we do have credits that you can get in contact with Brother Muhammad or Taqwa Productions for any concerns that you may have. We'd like to go back to our phones. Thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Yes, I would like to agree in total with your guest there about the attitude of African Americans about legitimate and illegitimacy in terms of business. I was born in Chicago 45 years ago, and the late 50s, of course, the meeting Elijah Muhammad and some of the folk of that era, I was very impressed that they had a clear understanding of what capitalism is, and you must make it work, and you must make money turn in your community. But, brother, this is a joke, and it's really true. My uncle made one of the best livings in the history of Chicago by being a licensed peddler, meaning he had to go every 2 years at Cook County at City Hall to get his license. But 99.9% of the customers he had thought he was illegitimate. And he said he would never change the attitude. He said, it's a sad commentary. I think I was about 13 years old when he tried to explain, well, I understand it fully now. And he said, if I told these people that I do business with, I would lose 99% of my customers because they think you're buying something hot. So I absolutely agree with you that mentality has got to change. And I even saw it as a young man growing up. I worked for a company called Chalmette Insurance Company. Then I went to Prudential. And all of a sudden, the same customers that wouldn't buy from me when I was Chalmette bought from me when I was Prudential.
Yeah.
And the same services, Chalmette was just as strong as Prudential, and so forth and so on. So I'll be glad. I don't know if I'll ever live to see it again, but that we've got to understand that we have got to make money circulate in our own community. And in Chicago was a classical example that when the pole came off the boat in 1899 from Wausau.
Please speed up your question, please.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted you to speed up your question.
Okay, now, and the point being that all those other ethnic groups, and I saw this growing up, Poles, Italian, everybody made money circulating in their neighborhood.
That's right.
What I'm saying simply, if I'm Polish, I don't go across to Marquette Park and get, or maybe go to the Italian neighborhood and have that guy do my daughter's wedding. Once black people see and understand that, we're going to be better off in the system. And we don't understand that. Legitimate people like this brother, I don't know any illegitimate black folk in business. All the ones I know are legitimate. They do the same thing
that everybody
else got to do in Atlanta, Fulton County.
That's right. That's right. And we'd like to thank you for calling. I don't mean to rush you, but we'd like to thank you for calling and your comments as well. The thing that I think that is really going to happen with people like yourself, the callers that's been calling, is that we've got to talk it up. If we see the issues, we've got to keep it going. So I'd like to thank you. Was there another caller? Okay, we'd like to go back to our phones, and then I'll let you make a comment, and you can sum it up in less than a moment. Thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Yes.
Yes, would you please give your question quickly?
Yeah, well, actually, I don't have a question.
Okay,
I have
I'm
a
sorry.
comment.
Oh, go ahead.
I heard a young man call in earlier, and he was talking about the legitimacy of black businesses.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of irked me because the average black person that's in business or any kind of professional job at all, you can almost bet your last dollar that he is legitimate because he has to be almost 10 times more qualified than any white person to get ahead in this country at all. So you can just about guarantee yourself that if a brother is in business,
he's legitimate.
He definitely is legitimate.
All right, thank you for calling. We'd like to thank you for your comments. Would you like to sum it up right quickly?
You're right. I would just like to encourage the community and thank for the callers that did call, and encourage the broader community that we should be very conscious of supporting African American businesses, and we should do it, and we should do it in a hurry.
We'd like to thank you. I'd like to thank you for coming and being my guest. It was very stimulating. I hope we can invite you again and maybe continue this type of subject. We'd like to thank our callers and our viewers for watching. We hope you will watch next week. This is Reflections. I'm your host, Grant Hassan Salam. Thank you, and have a good evening.